What's up, y'all? Here we go. Wednesday, March 17th. There's no starter today. Okay. Yesterday we worked on the project, right? The website. So you need to make sure that that is submitted before Friday. Okay. Again, to submit that, let me just remind you, you will go to the March 16th. You go to March 16th and then South Africa website. You see right there, March 19th is when it is due and it is valued at 15 points. You'll click on that. I'll go to student view. And after you publish your website, you will then hit submit, paste in the URL from whatever your website is, okay, whatever the web address is, then submit that assignment. So just again, I wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. So again, but that was our focus yesterday, okay, and the day before. So make sure that is done. Again, don't forget about that. You want to make sure that y'all get that done and you submit that in a timely manner, so you have as great a potential as possible to get all those 15 points on that, please. Okay, so let's go back, please, to so no starter. So let's look at the summary page. Let's look at the summary page as this loads. I'll leave student view. All right, here we go, finally. So March 17th summary. Today, okay, I can use maps of Asia to interpret and draw conclusions about social, economic, and environmental issues. That's our objective. North Carolina Standard Course of Study is the same thing. Use maps, charts, graphs, geographic data, and available technology tools to interpret and draw conclusions about social, economic, and environmental issues in modern societies and regions. So it's basically the same exact objective there. Oh, I got to change that unit. New unit, y'all. Just Asia. That's it. Okay, this is unit number 4. So we have finished the Africa Middle East unit. Asia is our current unit. And that means we also have a new statement of inquiry. Our statement of inquiry now is governance throughout time and place, impact, expression, or impacts. Maybe I should say impacts. I'm going to say impacts, expression. So basically what I'm trying to say there is depending on government in a certain throughout time, okay, throughout history, and then throughout different locations or place, okay, throughout time and place, impacts everyone's ability to express themselves, whether through art, through their views, through their ideal political decisions, through their dress, their clothes, whatever that may be. So governance throughout time and place impacts expression and what people can say and do. Okay, depending on like the form of government, the time period, what's happening at a certain time and place. Okay, you may have a completely different ability to express your freedom of thought if you are in a crisis mode as a country. Maybe they'll restrict some of your freedom of speech or freedom of expression. Okay, so let's look at this synchronous time here. So no March 17th starter. We're going to begin 117 Asia, East Asia geography. And then there is a ticket out the door today. We're going to start getting in that rhythm again. And you will have a starter tomorrow. Asynchronous work is to complete 117 Asia, East Asia geography. So let's go to that right now. 117. Okay. I put it up here. Here it is in the digital notebook, 117. I've simplified it. We're going to go through East Asia today, South Asia tomorrow, Southeast Asia on Friday. Okay, and then we'll be done with geography and we'll begin culture on Monday. Okay, culture on Monday. Y'all can guess what we're going to do for culture. All right, so take a look here. So this is our map of, I'm going to shrink it a little bit here. All right, this is our map of East Asia, which if we look at it, right, you see in these bold, we're not doing a political map this time because I think we can honestly see the divisions between the different countries. So we have Japan, right, Taiwan, South Korea, North Korea, Mongolia, and China are the main countries here that are focused on in East Asia with this map. All right, so once again, this is a physical map. So focuses physical features, the elevation, okay, of the overall the terrain, how it goes up and down. So let's take a look at our questions here. All right, one thing we've not really done, we haven't really talked about coordinates. So I'm going to look at this here with you. Which island lies at 23 degrees north and 120 degrees east? So if we're looking at that 23 degrees north, 120 degrees east, so that means it is 23 degrees north of the equator and 100, what did it say? 100, about 120 degrees east of the prime meridian. So if we're going to go, and we'll just work on this one together here. And you can see these numbers here as well. You got 40 degrees north, 20 degrees north, right? So if we look at that and we do an estimate here, we got 20 here, 40 here, halfway, right, would be 30. Then halfway between 30 and 20 would be 25. So we're about 23, be about right here, right around the Tropic of Cancer. Okay. So then if you look from the Tropic of Cancer, now we need to identify around 120 degrees east. So here, if you look right here, you got 80 degrees east. If we continue east, continue in this direction to 100 degrees east, to 120 degrees east, where those two lines intersect or cross is going to be that location of that island, or just about. So if we're looking here, right, we got 120 degrees east and 23 degrees north. We're right there. So the answer should be Taiwan. So please make sure, if you have not done so yet, that you go ahead and type that into the digital notebook. Okay. See, let me do this. So I'll go ahead and type that in there. I'm going to make it bold so it's easy for the teacher, myself, to see. I'm going to change that. See if I can. I'll just leave it just like that. All right. So hopefully you understand that. And again, that was real quick looking at coordinates. If you have an entire globe or map of the entire world, you can get a little bit, honestly, it's probably easier because you can see everything instead of just a little square or rectangle and having to decide the different coordinates and only looking at a small portion of it. But nonetheless, let's move forward. Based on the physical map, why might a majority of China's population live in East China? Now we're drawing conclusions here. So why might a majority of China's population live over here? Think about that and explain, okay? So again, if I'm you, get to do a sentence starter. Let's do this. We'll live in East China because, and go ahead and finish that off, okay? Finish that off for me. There's an answer that I have in my head when I wrote this question that I hope you come to the conclusion of. But if you have another reason that may be another conclusion that may be different, or inference that may be different than mine, that's okay. I want to see a thought process in this, because drawing conclusions based on maps is a major objective that I need to make sure that you understand and that you are able to do based on these maps. Okay, let's transition down to climate. Okay, here's a climate map, right? The overall general weather that a region experiences throughout a longer period of time, like a consistent period of time. In general, you can expect the weather in regions to be very similar over a period of time. So let's take a look at this question. What is the dominant climate in Taiwan? Right, so we find Taiwan. There it is. Dominant, right, which would mean that, right, we have green and we have blue here, right? We have tropical rainforest and tropical monsoon. But if we're thinking what's going to be the dominant one, it's going to be the one that covers a majority of the island, right? Which would be tropical rainforest. So I'm going to put that in there. Okay. I don't know why this font is getting smaller on me. Rain. I like to do rainforest. You can do either one word or two words for rainforest. All right. All right. So then, next one. Which regions in East Asia would you expect mining to be a greater industry than agriculture? I'm not going to answer it for you, but I'll do a little sentence starter here. Mining is more common, I'm going to say probably, or likely more common in blank more common than agriculture in blank because. All right, go ahead and then answer that question for me. So if we go through this, right, mining, the harvesting, the digging and harvesting of minerals, okay, out of the ground, of resources out of the ground, going into the ground and pulling them out, mining them. Agriculture being like farming, livestock, growing crops. So where in this map, just based on this, okay, do you think mining would be more likely or more common? Again, I'm not going to say there's a right or wrong answer here. I want to see that reasoning and why you chose the region that you did based on just this climate map. Okay. All right. You're going to have to do the rest on your own throughout the day. Population density. Which regions in East Asia have an extremely high population density? Based on the population density map, where would be the best place in Mongolia for an airport and why? Then we'll transition out the economic activity. The land in Mongolia is mostly used for what purpose? Why? And factories would most likely be located where and why? Okay. And then the last map, what is the majority religion in China? And I like this question. Based on the map, which forms of government do you think dominate East Asia? Okay, I like that question a lot. Based on this map, whoa, I don't know what happened. Right here. What type of government, based on just this, what form of government do you think is really dominant throughout East Asia? Okay. All right. So that is your job during asynchronous time to complete that organizer. And I'm going to ask specific questions on the starter tomorrow that are taken straight from that organizer. Okay, based on those maps. So if you've done quality work and you did quality work on page 117, you should not have an issue tomorrow with the starter. So again, ticket out the door. I'll give you some freebies here. Not this one. You should know that one. Okay. It may be a little tricky, but go back and look at the summary page. Unit, y'all. Make sure you click Asia. We've moved on. Statement of inquiry is different, right? Now it is governance throughout time and place impacts expression. And then asynchronous work. Make sure you answer that correctly. Thank you.